Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Walaikum assalam.
So today we're going to be refuting a popular video from the Christian and atheist apologists against Islam called a hilariously bad Quran verse. So apparently this is going to be a hilariously bad Quran verse, not just a bad one, but hilariously bad. I just put emphasis on that. Okay then. So let's get right to it then.
I should start the video now.
I want to bring up something. I want to just throw in something that I find very funny and very beautiful. That has not so much to do with the language of the Quran, but rather with the authorship of the Quran. I just thought about that, and I have to throw this in here because I find it so nice. So here's a Quran verse which says,
This is funny.
and we certainly know that they say it is only a human being who teaches him. The tongue of the one they refer to is foreign, and this recitation is in a clear Arabic language.
Yeah.
What this grammar is actually saying, so it is saying that they say, so the people around Muhammad who doubt Muhammad's message and who doubt all these recitations and their divine origin, they apparently say it is only a human being who teaches him. So there is somebody there among them who teaches Muhammad these things, which is why he is making up these revelations, because he gets these from some guy who is among these people. And then the Quran later clarifies, but the language of that guy that you are referring to is foreign. And this Quran is in clear Arabic language, so it can't
Okay,
be that
pause it.
he's taking it from that guy. But it's funny that the Quran is actually
It's hilarious.
Pause it, Hader. Pause it.
One of us should make a video called like Allah's dumbest.
Okay, so the problem with this claim here, so let me just clarify what they're trying to say in the first place. So first of all, they're arguing that the Quran is responding to a claim from the pagan Arabs who say that it is a human being who teaches the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right? And in context, this is referring to a Roman slave who belonged to the pagans. And the Quran clarifies this. It says the tongue of the one who they refer to is foreign, i.e. is Roman. So he can't speak Arabic, okay? There's no evidence that he can even speak Arabic. And what these guys are saying is someone who cannot speak Arabic taught the Prophet ﷺ information in Arabic, and this information turned out to not only be the most revolutionary work in Arabic in history, according to Orientalist scholars. And let me bring up some Orientalist scholars, non-Muslims, who had this opinion. For example, F.F. Arbuthnot, that's his name. He's from the University of London, I believe. In his book, The Construction of the Bible and the Quran, from 1885, he says that from the literary point of view, the Quran is regarded as a specimen of the purest Arabic, written in half poetry and half prose. Has said that in some cases, grammarians have adopted their rules to agree with certain phrases and expressions used in it, and that though several attempts have been made to produce a work equal to it as far as elegant writing is concerned, none has yet succeeded. Furthermore, Professor E.H. Palmer, in his introduction to the Quran, stated that the best of Arab writers has never succeeded in producing anything equal in merit to the Quran itself. Is not surprising as a claim. Furthermore, the New Encyclopedia Britannica says that, as has been noted, the language of the Quran is regarded as surpassing everything that can be written in Arabic. So these claims right here, openly from a non-Muslim sources, and there's many more of this, okay? They say that the Quran is a very high-level work of Arabic. Now, a non-Arab pagan or Christian or whatever he was, who can't speak Arabic, cannot teach someone who doesn't know how to read or write the entire, like, a high-quality literary work. Like, that's a contradiction. It doesn't make sense, to be honest.
responses to arguments, right? Because he has things like this, right? Like, and they ask, why isn't Muhammad sent with a miracle? And Allah's response is, because other people from other generations had rejected miracles, therefore you don't get any. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But this is another one that just doesn't make sense, right? It's like the accusation is that Muhammad is getting.
Where is he getting the claim that there was no miracles at the time of the Prophet ﷺ? I mean, the Quran literally says that the moon was split. Like, that's a miracle. I don't get what he's talking about here. What David Wood is actually trying to say here is that apparently the Quran says that the Prophet ﷺ didn't receive any miracles. He doesn't understand that the Quran is referring to the fact that when people were given miracles, such as Moses he split the sea in front of him, and yet the Israelites still worshipped the golden calf. The Quran is saying clearly, and this is something it's very clear to most people, that just because of miracles, it doesn't matter how many miracles you show someone, their faith will not grow because of that. They will not become believers. That's what it's saying. That doesn't mean that Muhammad ﷺ didn't have miracles. He did have miracles.
These revelations. There you got it. There you have it, AP. The accusation is that Muhammad is getting these revelations from this guy that he's talking to. In the Muslim sources, they don't even know who that's referring to, right? So, in other words,
traitor, apparently.
And this is apparently the reason that Muhammad was called the ear, or that people would say he's all ears and believes whatever anyone tells him, is that this guy's telling him, hey, let me tell you about Jesus. Hey, let me tell you about Moses. Hey, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about dual Qarnayn. And Muhammad's listening to this dude, and he's coming out the next day and saying, I have received the revelation from the Almighty. Praise Allah.
Okay, pause it.
And
Oh, the thing is, right here, there's like a big faulty problem here, because first of all, literally all of Arabia at the time was pagan. It's like the first thing inside. So if he was listening to everyone, he would be a pagan, not a Hanif.
Exactly.
Hanif is someone who is not a Jew, who is not a Christian, who is not a Sabian, yet worships one God. So it's like proto-Islamic, to say the least. So, for example, Abraham was a Hanif. He believed in one God, right?
Right. People also accept it. David Wood, he claims that there's like 3 stages of jihad or something. So like the first stage is like when you're being persecuted or when there's not enough of you, you have to be kind to everyone and you have to do dawah kindly. Right? So he right here is admitting then that in the small state, the Muslims did not have a lot of supporters because they were not following other people's religions. If they were followers, if the Prophet ﷺ was a follower, if he was ears, quote unquote ears, he would be a pagan or a Jew or a Christian or a Sabian or whatever other religions that they were present at that place. And he's none of those. In fact, he's the opposite.
Yes, and even then, the monotheists were quite low, like the majority were pagans.
Exactly. I don't even think the rest of this video is useful. Like, we already addressed the core point of the video. They don't really make any points after this. So I think we can end it.
We watched the video beforehand,
Right.
and pretty much everything after this is just random mocking and the occasional screeching from David Wood.
Yeah, we might play that at the end, just for the audience to see what it is. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
this dude, and he's coming out the next day and saying, I have received the revelation from the Almighty.